yes, African Fight Fam. Welcome back to the African Fighters Podcast. Yes, and I must say, I did miss you guys when I was away because I did miss last week's episode. Shout out to Farouk for holding it down out here. And I'm back in your life, according to Ariel Hawani. I think that's already taken. I'm going to say, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the boy, JB, back at it again, African Fighters Podcast. And today, I am with my boy, King Dems Ademola. What's up, Dems?
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I'm good.
I must say, Demola is the host of King Dems podcast. He has two amazing episodes out right now. If you haven't checked them, you should go check them. His second episode was with Rafion Stotts. That's
Our
former
boy.
Bellator champion. That's incredible conversation you guys had. Really, really loved it. If you guys don't know, go check them. King Dems podcast. It's everywhere you could get a podcast. All right, guys. I know I've been away. A few people creeping into the live chat right now. Shout out to you guys. Please feel free to drop your comments and we'll get to them. And before we go ahead, I would like to remind you guys that yes, we are on audio form as well. If you maybe missed the video, you could always listen to us wherever you get your podcast from. And also, we are on Patreon. And today on Patreon, what we did is we released one batch of the nominees of the African Fighters podcast. Oh, yes, did I not say the African Fighters podcast the African Fighters Awards is coming back next month, January. We are going to be honoring and recognizing a lot of African talent in combat sports. It's going to be amazing. We've spent a week now deliberating about the nominees and who's gonna be in it and who's not gonna. So yes, guys, do join our Patreon so you could get the exclusive first look to the nominations and the categories. I believe the categories are already on our social media pages. But anyways, one of the episodes coming down maybe next week or the week after is us doing a preview of the nominees. And one of the reasons why we left the nominees out is because there is a big card in EFC. And as you know, EFC being the biggest promotion in Africa, we would want to see how the big names in that card participate before we conclude that, oh, they've got a banger over here. So, yes. All right, without any further ado, the things that we are going to be discussing about, Dricus do Plessis had a couple of interviews. He's doing media rounds. He's been doing media rounds for a couple of weeks now. Ever since the fight got announced. That is the fight for the middleweight title with Sean Strickland in Toronto. Um, and he did mention some topics pertaining African fighters, which we are gonna be reacting to now. So King Dems, I've gone on a rant. I forgot to ask you how you feeling. It's really snowing today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite cold, but I can't complain. I'm all strapped up, heated up with layers. You need to know
Nice
your
one,
layer
nice one.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right now outside it's like a three jacket or two jacket kind of weather. But anyways, let's take a look into the first topic. All right, the first topic is Dricus Duplessis saying I will manhandle Israel Adesanya. All right, so I'm going to be quoting Israel from his interview with Submission Radio. That's the guys down in Australia. Aussie.
Oi,
Um,
oi, oi.
he. All right, here's the quote. He was asked about the easy fight, and he said, "The easy fight is a fight where I honestly believe that I would have grabbed him and I would have manhandled him. To be honest, I know he has good takedown defense, but I don't think people understand the difference between myself and Israel Adesanya. If I would have grabbed him, it would have been a very long night. Well, no, it would have been a short night. Basically, what he's saying is if he for Izzy, he probably is going to grapple heavy. And he also said Israel got good striking, but he cannot knock me out. So he also hinted on the striking of Izzy as well. But something I must point out is this isn't the first time that Dricus did mention manhandling Izzy. I do remember he had an interview with Schmo just before his fight with Whitaker, which was his biggest fight in his career. he did mention that him and Easy might have sparred or actually have sparred a long time ago, a couple of years ago, earlier in their careers in Thailand, where he manhandled Easy. And Easy did mention also on his YouTube channel, Freestyle Bender, he did say that they did spar, but Dricus got the better of the grappling and he picked him apart while striking. So we don't know who's saying what and who's saying whatever. But before we get into the other things that Dricus was saying in the interviews, what do you think about this remark of him manhandling Easy? Before you answer, I have to remind people that, as you know, Demola King Dems is the president of Israel Adesanya fan club. There is a easy mechanism in his head that he cannot get away from, so he would not be able, or he is incapable of saying anything wrong or anything bad about Easy. But I'm giving you a chance to tell us if you think that Dricus can actually manhandle Easy. What do you say, brother?
Okay, so thing is, like you said, you rightly said, I'm President Israel Adesanya's Fans Association, but I can always be objective, have my objective hat on. So in this scenario, I've been smiling, trying to control myself from talking, right? Because this is a shoulda, woulda, coulda kind of situation, right? They actually sparred a long time ago. And the truth is, if you look at somebody the way you looked at them many years ago, you are in for a rude awakening, right? There's a proverb in Yoruba language that says, "Eniba fujo ano woku ebora bolasho," meaning anybody who looks at a like a dead person, right? Like when they were alive, like yesterday, right? They will be amazed by a ghost. The ghost is going to take off your clothes. So basically, these two guys, these two guys have actually been on an upward and forward trajectory in their careers, right? So you can't be judging Israel Adesanya based on the Israel Adesanya 5 years ago. So I think they're two different beasts at this time, right? So I
All
think
right, let's talk about the easy of right now. The easy that you saw with that fought Sean Strickland. That easy against
okay,
Dricus
the
Duplessis.
version of Easy that fought Sean, right? I think, yeah. I said Strickland, Dricus would have gotten a better of that version of Easy, but then that Easy was not fighting Dricus, because if Easy were fighting Dricus, I believe the motivation would be different. So whenever these two guys collide,
You
trust
are
me,
so incapable
Easy
of saying
is
anything
going to
wrong.
get the better of Dricus anytime, any place, any day. Trust me, the motivation is different.
All right, so we know that Easy is in the later stage of his career. I wouldn't say he is at his peak. So I'm not sure if age is actually catching up to him now, or if there was a lingering issue heading into the Strickland fight, or if there was, as you said, lack of motivation. Because I do remember that in the Strickland fight during the build-up, all of us were anticipating like, oh, the press conference is going to be amazing, and the press conference came. And Strickland was like pouring
Strickland,
it
yeah.
on Easy, and Easy was like being chilled, like big boy. I was like, dude, where is the motivation? Where is the back and forth that we thought we were gonna get? He felt like Strickland, he wasn't on his level.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
who,
the thing. That is the
so
thing.
and then it was one of those cases where even Manuel Cap upstaged Easy in that press conference. Because to me, I think Manuel Cap did win that press conference. If there's any winner from a press conference, but um,
His stock went
forget
up.
forget all forget all of that. I think uh Dricus, because as MMA fans and MMA casuals that we are, because this is a podcast for the casuals, isn't it? The thing is, our brain is how good a fighter is was his last fight.
It's his last
And
fight. It's just as good as the last
Easy's
fight.
last fight, Easy's last fight was very ugly. Dricus's last fight was amazing. Right? He put it on. It was an amazing situation. So that being said, Easy versus Dricus, I think the odd makers are going to even favor Dricus. The odd makers are going to favor Dricus. And I do believe that Dricus can actually get Easy out of there. but I don't think it's going to be grappling. I think if Dricus takes easy out of there, it's probably striking because of how heavy, how powerful his hands are. Um,
I,
yeah,
I
let me
don't believe
just
that anyways. I don't believe that.
let me
You know,
just
last week, last week when I was
Mhm.
talking with Rafian's thoughts, right? He said something about the mentality of fighters, right? If you're fighting somebody that you dislike, that you hate, right? The motivation is different. So I believe the motivation is going to be different, and you will see that will happen. I will manifest it, and easy by
I'm gonna
knockout.
say I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. UFC Superfan says drop the link. I'm not sure what he meant. If you meant the Patreon link, it's in our bio right now. The link of our Patreon is in our bio. Please feel free to hop in there. Um, yeah. So, also talking about the interviews, I'm going to say this. Yeah, let's assume the easy thing didn't happen with Dricus and all that sensitivity around it. Dricus is really a stand-up guy in the sense that if you listen to him talk, you actually be a fan of him. He actually sounds like a very disciplined and a likable guy when you listen to him. Like, for example, he was asked about Israel Adesanya, sorry, he was asked about Usman when Usman called him out just after he lost to Chimaev, and he did say nice things about Usman. He said like Usman is a legend. He believed that at that point Usman thought that Chimaev was going to get the shot, and he also did say if he gets a chance and it makes sense for him, he would actually fight Usman. So I think I don't think that. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat here. Fight Week Showcase says, "What's good, lads? What's up, Fight Week Showcase? Shout out to you, brother." And UFC says, "I'm in the link to join the conversation." I'm not really sure which conversation he means. The which conversation I mentioned. Yeah, but
Probably the StreamYard
before I
link.
I get off, yeah, before I get off track, I was talking about how impeccable Dricus sounds when he talks in his interviews and when he gives roses. Even Israel Adesanya, he did say, I don't like Izzy as a person for obvious reasons of the things that happened. But he did say that as a mixed martial artist, as a combat artist or a disciplinarian in that field, that he admires him or he respects him. Basically, maybe he didn't say admire exactly. So yeah, shout out to Dricus. I think really highly of him and his skill set. And just in this podcast, there's a topic that we are going to get to where I'm very curious to hear what you would have to say, Demola, because Dricus topic is going to come back into our conversation. Yes.
Okay.
Um, UFC Superfight fan. When I say join the conversation, I actually meant like in the live chat. You could drop your comment and we could react to them as we proceed in this podcast. All right, Demola, do you have anything to talk about that topic before we go?
Okay, before we go, I'll just say that no disrespect to Dricus, right? I respect him. I think very, very highly of Dricus, right? I think he is a well-rounded mixed martial artist. Like looking at the top 10 middleweights, right? Aside from Easy, Dricus is the most well-rounded person in that division. And I wish him like very, very good things, great things for his career. And of course, in this next fight, right? In my head, right, I see Dricus as a champion already. I just feel like
Well,
he's the champion
we'll get
elect.
to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Me, I know that inside your heart of hearts, this thing where you say you don't really mean that.
You're not in my heart. I wish him well. He's my South African brother, you know. I
Oh
have
yeah.
South
Oh
African
yeah.
friends. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, we've got Tumbo Soon here. What's up, Tumbo Soon, brother? He said, "Man, we don't know much of any fighter as a person as much as they show us." That's kind of true. Some people cannot hide their real selves from what they show us. Like Sean Strickland is a horrible person in real life and online as well, as you can tell. Um, uh, yeah, he said you're right, Superfan. Superfan wants to be on the stream. Ah, oh, I see. UFC Superfan. How do we share this link with you? We would be glad to have you on here so you could talk about. Um, all right, I'm gonna drop the link to StreamYard. Please feel free to copy and paste it in your browser. and you could join the chat. Okay. And I would see you here. All right. So Fight Week says Dricus to beat Strickland, and then we have Dricus versus Rob to. Ha. What do you have to say about that, Demola?
Says Dricus is going to beat Strickland, and then we have Dricus versus Rob to. No, I don't think so. Rob has to beat somebody else before he is able to come back into the title
Yeah, but
contention.
I think Rob hinted that he has a fight in UFC 299. However, the opponent has not been
Who?
revealed.
Who
A lot of talk
exactly?
have been a lot of talk have been around is Robert
Usman?
Whittaker versus Usman, but
Most likely.
I think that has caliber to be in the main card of UFC 300. But Rob did say 299, but we don't know. We don't
Yeah,
know yet. UFC
but
superfan says style makes fight. Yeah.
just to put it out there, if Rob does face off with Usman, I think Usman gets the better of Rob. So I don't see the possibility of Dricus Rob happening. I'm sorry, just my take.
Well, yeah. Rob always is always close to the title shot. If he always wins his next, he will just be like, "Oh, I want a title shot." Um,
As long as it's not against Easy.
yeah. All right. I'm gonna move to another conversation. Maybe not very popular among the guys here, but yes. Senegalese super heavyweight Reug Reug Umar Khan calls out Anatoliy. Anatoliy is the heavyweight
As a
champion of
champion.
one championship. Yeah, heavyweight champion in one championship. And Reug Reug, who is a contender in one championship, he just fought out of his contract earlier this year. He has 5 wins, all of them in one championship. He has 1 loss, also in one championship. And recently, we were not sure of what his contract situation is like. Has he extended, or is he looking to go to the UFC or Bellator or PFL right now, which is like sort of like the hot ticket, or I should say the hot market in town. But Rogro came out just 2 days ago on his Instagram and then called out Anthony, who is the heavyweight champion of one championship. Here is what exactly he said. Rogrog does not speak very good English. So he said, "Let's go, Anthony. This is my belt, not your belt." He said, "This is my time. I'm gonna F you up." And so I'm just gonna paint you the picture of the heavyweight division of one championship. Rogrog's fifth one championship win, is the most currently among the contenders in one championship for the heavyweight division. And the person that who is the clear cut number one contender when we were not sure if Rogue Rogue is still with one championship is Amir Ali Akbari. So Ali Akbari has 3 wins, and the Iranian has finished off all his opponents inside the distance. He confronted um, Anilakani. He confronted the champion in the ring after the Russians' last title defense. At the time, the stage looks set for Ali Bakari versus Malikin. With Rogue Rogue back in the mix now, the Iranian might have to wait longer because of obviously Rogue Rogue being the clear cut number one contender right now. So what's your reaction to this? Do you think Rogue Rogue has signed with one championship again?
So when it comes to these contracts, right, there are privacy issues, there are non-disclosure issues, right? So we really cannot, comment on that. But then, let's assume that he's, back in the contention, right, and then he's with them. I want to believe that he would be back because for him to be making those call outs, right, he has to have the necessary signatures, the ink on paper, right? Now, with that assumed, I think he should actually be in line. He has a win streak that matches what he's trying to push for, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that Anatoly guy, that guy is a killer, he's a beast, and we all know what the
Yeah,
Russians
but
are, right? So I'm actually scared. I'm not gonna lie because I've seen Rogue
yeah,
Rogue
I mean,
transition, right, from Senegalese loot wrestling, he had to
Mhm.
like develop into that MMA game, right? But then if you watch his fights very well, you see he still uses that brute force of Senegalese wrestling, right? He's not very refined. He's not like so well
Yeah, it
rounded.
doesn't look beautiful when
Yeah,
he like. If you remember his fight with Bokeka, yeah, I think I got his name right. The striking exchange was very, very funny to look. But guy,
very.
they are huge heavyweights with huge muscles on their in their little heart. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of randomness in the heavyweight division, right? One shot
so like
can be lights out.
so well, let's talk about antics of Rogue Rogue, right? Rogue Rogue on social media, like recently we saw him training with Paulo Costa. They are calling themselves the Secret Juice Brothers. Rogue Rogue is has been chasing a Francis Ngannou fight with PFL, but Francis Ngannou hasn't really responded yet. Uh,
Everybody's
I
chasing
don't know if
Francis.
I don't know if any conversation has started, serious conversation with Rogue Rogue and PFL. I don't know if that had actually happened, but we also thought that it would be perfect for UFC Africa if Rogue Rogue actually signs with UFC, and then UFC takes the event to Senegal, because Senegal has an arena, they've got the fan base, they've got all of that. And I think if they sign Rogue Rogue, it will be a perfect fit for that market. And UFC Africa could actually easily happen in the Dakar arena. That's just me speculating. They've got incredible fighters, by the way. There's this guy called Gasmir Diata. He fought in AKO. If that guy's knockout power is out of the world. Anyways, you've got anything to talk about this before we move on?
So for Reug Reug, right? I wish him well. I really wish he's able to beat Anatoly, right? Heavyweight randomness, so it's very very possible 50-50. So with that, he's gonna have a lot of leverage to to negotiate with other promotions. I like to see him in the UFC. I would like to see him in the UFC, like you said. That's
We would
that's
all
just
love
me.
to see him in the UFC. I think Rogrog should go. I think he can actually even get that $1 million in PFL.
Yeah,
What is he waiting
yeah,
for?
but
He
I
could go get
think
it.
I think the PFL has the upper hand, in terms of snatching the guy. They have the new money in town, and with the
Mm.
Bellator acquisition, I expect a lot of crazy stuff to happen.
All right, so this is the point where I remind you guys to please join our Patreon. Go support us on Patreon. When you subscribe, or I should say, when you pledge on Patreon, you will be able to enjoy the privilege of joining the conversation here live with us, so you could share your opinions, you could join us weekly, you could suggest topics we could talk about. Yeah, amazing bargain. And again, if you join our Patreon, you get more information before anybody gets it. So for example, we are going to be doing the African Fighters Awards in January, and this awards is to recognize African talent, not just the global African talent. We've got categories that is going to make you learn more about the local athletes we've got back home in Africa. And this is not just a Nigerian thing. We've got South Africans, Angolans, the North Africans as well. So like there is a lot of knowledge out there for African fighters. There's a lot of fighters out there putting in work, and we're going to like highlight them and stuff. So yes, if you join our Patreon, we'll be dropping the nominations and the guys, or whatever point of conversations, you'll be getting them first before it gets to our socials. Yes, and we are arranging a package where after the voting, the the Patreon subscribers would also have a say at who wins which award. So yeah, that's also another caveat for it. All right, shout out to Christopher Graham. He is constantly sending us these questions. We really really appreciate it. Shout out to our new Patreon member, ladies and gentlemen, King Dems Demola over here. Uh, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate King Dems podcast. Check it out. All right, moving on. Uh, we are going to look at every single division, men's division in the UFC right now. In the UFC, if you look at the five, what is it, six divisions? Um, among the top five, there is an athlete in every division that is from a nationality that has never won the UFC title before. All right. So this is what we are going to be looking at. We are going to be looking at athletes of nationalities that have never won the UFC title in every weight class, and then we talk and deliberate about their chances of actually being champions if they are actually championship material. All right, I believe this will be an exciting conversation to have. Please get your pens ready, get your fingers ready, and join the conversation in the comment section. All right, we're going to start with the heavyweight divisions, ladies and gentlemen. Cyril Gane from France. Uh, all right, so we know that Cyril Gane had won the interim title before, so we are not talking about the interim, we're talking about the undisputed champion. All right, so now the heavyweight division is kind of funny. We've got John Jones, the champion. We've got Tom Aspinall from England here as the interim champion. And then we've got Cyril Gane, the former interim champion. Cyril Gane is riding, I believe, a 2-fight win streak right now after he lost to John Jones. And actually, he's winning. He's on a 1-fight win streak. Well, it doesn't matter. After he lost to John Jones and Francis Ngannou, respectively. All right, so Cyril Gane. Now, in my opinion, I'm going to go first, and I hope that my answer is not going to influence your answer, Demola. My
I'm
answer
objective. Don't
is
worry. Don't worry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My answer is I think Tom Aspinall. Believe he is talented enough to, they say style makes fights, right? To beat Cyril Gane 2 out of 3 times. If they fight 3 times, I believe Tom Aspinall will win twice. I think Tom Aspinall is more well-rounded than Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane has been exposed twice. I do understand that he probably has uh I'm just looking. We've got UFC Superfan here. He appeared and then he disappeared. UFC Superfan, don't be shy. Please join us. So yeah, as I was telling you, I think Tom Aspinall is going to be a champion for a long time. I think Tom Aspinall actually beats John Jones. That's my opinion. And I know that's a very, very, very big take because you cannot bet on against John Jones. But I don't see Cyril Gane being a champion anytime soon. And I think that his grappling is going to get him exposed every single time he fights now because people are aware about it. And we know in the fight game, you cannot just go and just learn how to grapple and wrestle just like that. It has to be something that is already a full com situation. But what do you think, Demola?
Hmm. Okay, I think you read my mind to some extent, right? But
Mhm.
let's introduce some numbers
Let's see if
into
you can
this,
try.
right?
Wait. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's see if you can try and make a case for Cyril Gane to be a champion in the heavyweight division.
That is exactly what I am about to do, right? So
Yeah.
you're preempting me, right? Let me land, let me die before you bury me, man. So comparing the two of them, right?
Yeah.
Cyril Gane was born in 1990, Thomas Pinot 1993. So they are not too far apart in terms of age, right? So that's like a 3 year age difference, right? And like I said previously, the heavyweight division has a lot of randomness to it. So for you to be in a fight, it means you have a strong chance. You have a puncher's chance, right? So until Gan, uh, okay, so in MMA, right, you're as good as your last fight, right? And then we have a lot of recency bias. Remember when Cyril Gane was on the upward trajectory, he was on the high train. Everybody were like, "Oh, Cyril Gane is the next great thing. He's the next big thing." Right until the Francis fight happened, he
Mhm.
is actually well rounded. But I think the two losses in a row have made people feel like his stock has gone down. But trust me, that guy he's working his ass out in the gym, right, and getting better. So I think
So you are going to
he has a very
tell
good.
me that you are going to tell me that Cyril Gane is going to be a champion because you said trust me.
No. I'm not saying because you trust. I said trust me, right? But the thing is, this guy has that ambition, right? And he's
Mhm.
not going to be sitting down every day, knowing that there's a certain Thomas Pinot who is actually very well rounded. He's not a fool.
Mhm.
He knows the threats. to his dreams, to his aspirations. So I think he's actually going to be working hard, to close out the loopholes in his game. And I think there is a strong chance because there is a lot of randomness in the heavyweight division. One punch and it can be lights out. Look at the fight between Thomas Aspinall and is it the Russian guy that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
won the heavyweight title against? What's his name again? I'm not remembering the name right now. Uh,
Spivak? No,
uh,
Spalovic? Oh, bro, it's one of those bitches, isn't it?
Yes, both of them are Sergey's, right? Sergey
Yeah, yeah,
Pavlovich, right?
yeah, yeah.
If you look at that fight very well, there was a time in the first minute he caught
Mhm,
Aspinall. He did catch Aspinall, and I think, yeah, Pavlovich, right? He
mhm.
hesitated, but then if that guy had done a follow up, right, Pavlovich would have actually been the current interim champion. So
All right,
in
so so
in the
so let
heavyweight
me let me
division,
break
the
down. Let me break
skills
down. Let me break
the
down what you are
skill
saying. What you
requires
are
skill
saying
set.
is because the heavyweight division is crazy. One punch can actually finish everything. Somebody built a career with that, i.e., Derek Lewis. He will suffer
Mhm.
in a fight and then land one punch. I
So
get all of that going on,
you see,
but as we know that Cyril Gane is very light on his feet, right? He's like
hmm
very quick. He moves
hmm
around the octagon like a flyweight. There's all of that going on. Tom Aspinall is the same. He's the same. He's even quicker than Cyril Gane, because we see Cyril Gane like his style is bopping back and forth, bopping back and forth. But Aspinall is quick as a fox. But anyways, as you said, one punch can always pull somebody out. I
What you
think
punch can change it. But then if we were to put the skill for skill on paper, right, I think Thomas Aspinall has the edge. He
yeah.
does
So
have the edge.
we are bound to see that fight either way.
Yeah, we
I
are.
think we'll probably even see Tom Aspinall defend his interim title against uh Cyril Gane while we wait for John Jones and Stipe to happen. All right, going to the next one. The next one is Alexander Rakic. He's from Austria / Serbia. Serbian and Austrian. All right, so Rakic is currently number 5 in the light heavyweight division, but the light heavyweight division has been in shambles since John Jones left. John Jones was a champion forever, and then he left, and then they've been hot potatoing that title around. Some people, it's almost like they win the title and don't want to hold on to it because we
That
got
title is
we got
cursed.
yeah, we got one
It
guy
is
winning it
cursed.
and getting an injury and then relinquishing the title and somebody else doing the same, like, and then only going out for less than a year, only coming back as a contender. I don't know what that was about. But regardless, right now the champion is Alex Pereira. And
Pereira.
in the top 5, I did say Rakic is number 5. But here is the situation. Rakic has only fought Jan Blahovic in the top 5. He's the only guy that he fought and he lost to Jan Blachowicz. So I don't think he's tested yet. I think his next fight would likely be someone coming from the top 15, someone below there. The issue with the light heavyweight division is like when you look
It's
from number
stacked
5
right now.
downwards, everybody has lost. you know, it's not they don't have championship materials a lot in that division. But
Yeah, but then they have
if you
a
if
strong top five. They have a
yeah,
strong top
they do
five
have.
right
Yeah.
now,
So I
right? And
would
they have former
say
champions in the top
I
five.
would say I don't think Rakic can be champion unless we get one of those Charles Oliveira Fury. But I don't see him beating anybody in that top 5. I think Magomed Ankalaev is going to is
Everybody
going to
thinks that guy
ruffle
is a
him up,
champion in
man.
waiting, right?
Yeah. So, but
Everybody thinks he's a champion in
what do you
waiting.
think? I think I should let you go first. Then I can take the other argument because now I've already told you that Rakic cannot be champion, and now you have to tell me that Rakic can be champion. So tell me.
So the thing is this, right? With me, you would notice, right? I don't count anybody out. I do not count anybody out because these guys have goals, they have aspirations. See what happened with Charles Oliveira, right? Everybody counted him out, and see what he came. up with. It all depends on your conditioning, your motivation, your team. Yeah, the team that you have around you, how able they are to push you towards achieving, these goals. Look at a situation with what's his name, the champion that retired, Alex Herrera's mentor, or what's his name, the Brazilian guy,
Mm,
right? Glover
yeah, yeah.
Teixeira, right? Yeah, Glover
Mm-hmm.
Teixeira pulls through, breaks through, and wins the title at the age of 42, right? Like nobody expected that to happen, right? So you can never
Mm-hmm.
say never. And Rakic, he's strong, his striking is quite decent. He has good takedown defense, right? And that is what you really need, right? You need a good mix of grappling and striking, and then with the proper motivation, you
All
can
right.
see a beast
I think.
emerging. This guy, he
Mm-hmm.
can. He's fought on Blahovic, right? But then he's not been tested against the likes of Pereira, the likes of Giri Prohashka, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he can actually he just needs to win one fight in the top five, right? And have a
Mm-hmm.
title shot. So there is that possibility.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to get this conversation rolling quickly so we don't have to be getting stuck. All right. Naturally, we move to the middleweight division, and we've got none other than our African brother, Dricus Du Plessis, South
There's
African,
no
currently the
conversation. There's
number.
no conversation here, bruv. That is the champion in waiting. Skip, skip.
No, no, no. Let's hear you. Let's hear you get. Let's hear you do it first. Go for it first.
See, in my
Dricus Du
books,
Plessis.
in
Mm-hmm.
my books, Dricus du Plessis is the champion of the middleweight division. Sean Strickland, you do not need to fight, right? Just take that belt and hand it over to Dricus because that
Did
is
you
the
see? Did you
man.
did you see that video of Sean Strickland doing a grappling tournament where he just got up and got submitted by a smaller guy? Did you see that? That happened
I did
yesterday. I
not.
think I think Chael Sonnen was on commentary and he was laughing his
Sean,
ass off. Ladies
Sean
and
is a
gentlemen, that's your
clown.
middleweight champion.
Sean is a
Yes.
clown.
Shout out to Courageous Empire. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to Christopher Graham. We've been throwing praises at your way, Christopher Graham. Shout out to you, brother. All right. Uh, naturally, I'm supposed to tell you why Dricus is not the guy.
No,
but I,
you can't. You cannot. You cannot.
but I,
Dricus
but
is
I
the
can't.
guy, bro.
I can't because we got someone here. He says no way
What?
Dricus beats
No one Dricus
Strickland.
beat Strickland? Are you sure?
What?
In what world?
What?
Anyways, he's not going
Well,
to count
anyway,
him
we thought
out. Yeah.
we thought the same of Strickland when he was fighting Adesanya, but something weird happened that night, bro. Something weird happened that night. All right, wait. So I think Dricus is gonna win. I
Oh,
think
somebody
Dricus
just
is gonna
said
be
Dricus doesn't have a gas tank. I just saw that
ish.
comment. Yeah, Courageous Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
You want
doesn't
to
need a
respond
gas
to that?
tank. He doesn't need a gas tank to beat Strickland, right? See what Pereira did to Strickland? Was it first round or second round? Yeah,
But you people,
expect something like that.
when they forget, say, Strickland has like that Philly shelling boxing thing going going on. He's got good
See,
striking.
I can tell you for free, right? That kind of striking was just effective because Adesanya did not activate grappling, right? You can't try that kind of striking with somebody who is a grappler or a wrestler. Look at what's his name? Kamaru Usman did to Strickland early in his career, right? If
Mm.
it were somebody who were a good grappler, you would see
Yeah,
that is
well,
not effective against a grappler.
that's right in a way, because like if you are going to just be using your shoulder as your blocking mechanism and just be coming forward, that means that in your brain you are not registering that there's a threat of takedown coming. There's a threat of anything coming. I think that was what he was thinking. He was thinking Izzy would never grapple with him,
Yeah,
hence
it
why
will
he
never
was coming
grapple.
forward like that. That's what he wanted to do with Pereira, but Pereira clipped him with that his dangerous left hook.
Left
But
hook.
yeah, let's move on. All right, so we've got Shavkat Rakhmanov, the Kazakhstani boy that is the boogeyman of the welterweight division right now. The welterweight division is a very very stupid division. Um, in the welterweight
That
division, we've got Leon Edwards as
that's
champion.
a Shark
He
Tank.
doesn't. Yeah, he's a welterweight champion, Leon Edwards. He doesn't care about fighting very frequently. Um, we've got number one on the ranking is Kamaru Usman as the former champion. We've got Belal Mohammed, who just beat. Right now, he's looking impressive with his record because look at what he did to Sean Brady and look at Sean Brady against Kevin Gastelum last night. And he also did beat Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert
We've got Colby
Burns.
Covington that has not fought in a year and a half. And then we've got Gilbert Burns, and then we've got Shavkat. Shavkat, nobody wants to fight Shavkat. Right now, it's starting to look like if Shavkat gets a fight, it's probably someone that lost a fight that is coming down that would want to fight him so he could take the new kid on the block out. So I feel like Shavkat, the welterweight division has been notorious for people squatting in their spots for a long time. They don't want to fight anybody up or down. I think once Shavkat gets that one fighter who has been taking L's or who takes L in the top 5,
Top 5.
he will probably move into that title contention, and I do think that he is well skilled. He's undefeated, by the way, 17-0. I think he can be champion, and he can be the first Kazakhstani champion. What do you think?
But quick one, did you see Shavkat beating Usman? And Usman with a full camp, not an off the couch Usman.
Well, the thing is, yeah, the way that Chimaev wrestled Usman is making me feel some type of way, to be honest. But I don't see Shavkat beating Usman. Although whenever Usman makes a post on Instagram, you would go to the comment section, you see all the Kazakhstanis are flooding his comment section with their flags. You just see Kazakhstani flags up and down. Shavkat people are like, fight Shavkat, running, you ducking Shavkat or whatever. I think he's got a following, but it's one of those hard fights of like the old dog with the up and comer. But what do you think?
I think in a 5-round fight, Usman gets it done, right?
Yeah,
And
Usman
that's
relatively beats
close.
everybody in 5 rounds, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that is a mistake he made
Well,
against
except
Chimaev.
except for Leon Edwards, and we know what happened in the 5th round. But go
We
ahead.
know what happened. We know what happened, right? That is a one-off, right?
But
So I
what do you think?
think
What do you think about Shavkat? Do you think he can be champion? Is he cut for that championship type material?
I think he is going to be champion sometime in the future. It's not a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when, right? So I think
Mhm.
he has a very strong test in Usman, because when you look at the nature of the top 5, right? Leon is going to fight Kobe, right? And I think Kobe would actually win that fight. I don't know why I feel that way, but my intuition is telling me Kobe wins that one, right? Leon, I have a lot of respect for Leon. Leon is British, I'm British at heart, right? But I don't even want Leon to win it because he's going to hold up that division. He's not an active champion, right? So if Kobe wins that fight, who is next in line? Belal Mohammed.
Eh,
Belal
well,
Mohammed should not be
I
denied,
think
right?
yes, he
Uh,
deserves it. He deserves it. But
yeah,
here's the
he
thing: I
deserves it.
think if Kobe wins, Kobe is smart enough to know that his time is ticking, and he needs a marquee fight so he can make money. And I think once he wins, he beats Leon Edwards, he's gonna grab the microphone and call out Kamaru Usman so they could do their trilogy. This time he will be the champion and Usman will be the challenger. I think that's what he's gonna do because I think Kobe is he's a pro wrestling fan. He understands how this business works. He understands the lane of storyline. So when he calls out Usman in the middle of the octagon and maybe by chance Usman is in the fans and the
He's in the
camera shows Usman,
crowd or something.
that's it. That's it. They forced the UFC's hand. They are going to do it. Usman versus Kobe 3. I think that's probably what will happen if Kobe actually wins and if Usman is there. That's just me saying, That's just me saying. But talking about
That is
Shavkat,
a
I think
possibility. Yeah.
I think Shavkat can be champion.
Yeah, but not
Can you answer
now.
quickly,
Not in the
Toby?
immediate future.
Demola, answer quick. So because we don't they take too much time. Answer quick.
Okay.
Oh, we don't finish. All right, moving next to the next division. I think we've done half now. So the other half. All right, last night we saw Arman Saryukan. Oh gosh,
Tsarukyan. Aman
Tsarukyan
Tsarukyan. Get used to that name. That guy's a future champion, bro.
from Armenia yesterday. Omo, waiting he do
Over
Benil
Green.
Dariush
So sorry, Benio Darish rather.
Waiting to do Benil Dariush, man.
That's
I was like,
crazy.
God damn, I didn't know that these lightweights can have power like this.
They have power in their hands, man. Making a man
But
do the chicken dance.
all right, but here's the thing: he has a similar situation to Rakic. The only person that he has beaten of notice is that Benil Dariush. All right. And now, if you look at the people that could potentially fight him, people that are above Benil Dariush, you are looking like at a Dustin Poirier. You are looking at a Justin Gaethje. You are looking at the champion and challenger, Islam Makhachev and what's his name?
Oliveira. Oliveira.
Charles Oliveira. Now, Dustin Poirier would not take that fight because Dustin Poirier is he now feels like a main eventer right now. He only fights the big boys because he fought Conor McGregor twice and he settled for life. And then we've got Justin Gaethje, the BMF. The BMF will not just fight any up and comer, so it doesn't make sense. And I believe, what's his name, Arman. This was his biggest placement in a fight card in his career. He fought in the co-main of a fight night event that was in an arena. That's like his biggest exposure to UFC casuals like we. So I feel there's still some work that needs to be done. And at this point, I don't think any of the guys in that top would want to fight him. But who might actually accept to fight him? I really don't know if he can be champion. I've not seen enough, and that's my fault. That's not his fault. He has been fighting. I haven't seen too many of his
That
fights,
that
so
is
I have.
that is your fault, right? I followed this guy
Yeah,
right
that's
from
my
when
fault.
he fought
That's my
Islam.
fault. So I understand. Yes,
He
and I
fought
know
Islam
that
very early in
you
his career, and it was a very tough fight.
yes, and I know that you are a nerd for this Dagestani style of Eastern European wrestling. So so you tell me, what do you
I'm an
think?
MMA
Do,
nerd.
do you think Aman can actually be champion?
I think he can actually be champion. I remember seeing his fight with Islam, earlier in the careers, right? That fight was actually very, very close, right? It was actually very
Mhm.
close, and he could match Islam skill for skill. And they've actually both been on different trajectories, right? They've been improving over time, so it would even be easier to market, given the fact that he has had a previous fight with the champion, which was very close. So it would be very cool for marketing, right? So I think he should probably have one or two more wins and he can see the champion. So he doesn't necessarily need to fight upward, right? He can keep taking the up and comers and build a win streak for himself. When he builds a win streak for himself, he will be able to build a case for himself, just like what Leon Edwards did, right? Leon Edwards was fighting everybody they put in front of him, right? And he created a long win streak and it became undeniable. Same thing with what Belal Muhammad has done for himself as well, right? When you create a long
Mm.
win streak, people cannot deny you any longer. So even if the top five guys refuse to fight him, let him keep fighting. Anybody in the top 10.
Well,
He'll
let
get
me
the mark.
address Knockouts Co Kings. That's an amazing name, by the way. Knockouts. Is that Co Kings or KO Kings? Yeah, he
Knockout
said
KO
don't enter,
Kings.
don't underestimate the lightweights. Ain't nobody underestimating those motherfuckers.
Those
Yeah.
guys,
All right.
those guys are the
Uh,
bomb.
yeah. So yes. Again, it's my bad. I haven't seen enough of Warman. Courageous says Arman is a problem in that division. And he says Darius looked like a 70-year-old man yesterday. 70-year-old man. We got knockouts. Knockouts KO King says it's KO. Shout out to you, Knockout KO. Um. All right, let's go to the next division. That's the featherweight division. We've got Ilia Topuria. Well, Ilia Topuria is going to be fighting the champion, I believe, in the featherweight division in
Hmm.
the GOAT of featherweights,
Hmm.
Alex Volkanovski. That fight is already done deal. And if you can remember, Alex did say I believe after Topuria won his fight that made him the clear cut number one. I can't remember who he fought. Alex did say, "I beg you, Max Holloway, please don't fight this guy." Just let me get him first, because we know that in a world that Alex Volkanovski does not exist, Max Holloway is the clear
He's
cut
he's a
champion
champion.
champion of the featherweight division. And then we know that the two of them, they are miles ahead of everybody else in the rest of the pack of the featherweights. So that's why Alex Volkanovski was like, please Max, don't fight this guy. And
Stop
now
beating my contenders.
Max has run out of exciting fights. He has even started fighting legends in like Korean Zombie, right? Oh, did he fight Korean Zombie recently? I can't remember. Did he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was one of the retired Korea Zombie.
Oh, yeah. So you see, so Max is like getting bored. He also wants the new guy that he probably needs to move up a weight class. But regardless, what I'm trying to build at is that I don't see any world where Ilia Topuria will actually beat Volkanovski. So hence why, as long as Volkanovski is
I see a
there
possibility
and
there. I see.
actively fighting, I don't see
I do see a
how
possibility there.
Ilya will win. Well,
Islam.
how old is Ilya though? Do you think
Uh,
if Ilya stays around until Volkanovski retires, he can be champion?
Ilia is
'Cause-
quite young. I think he's probably around 27, if I'm not mistaken. He was born in 1997, January 21. So how old
oh,
is that? Yeah, that's
he's
26.
young.
Yeah,
He's young.
yeah. So he's
He's
26.
young.
So
I
he's
think
still
if he
approaching
hangs
his
around, he's
prime.
going to be champ. Yeah, he's going to be champion if Alex decides to walk away.
Yeah,
That's what I
but
think.
the thing is, I see a possibility of him beating Alex, right? Because coming
So you
off a KO.
are you on the same boat as KO Kings? He says upsets happen. That's why I love the sport. Do you think that?
Yeah,
Do you think that
I
that
I
upset is going to happen when Topuria fights Volk?
I think there is like a 49% chance of that happening because when a fighter is coming off a KO loss like that, right? They would be low on confidence, right? And he can capitalize on that. And apparently, Islam Makhachev has actually given a blueprint on how to beat Volkanovski. He's literally authored that book, a masterclass on how to beat Volkanovski, right? He has always been susceptible to that, high left kick. But then I wonder why everybody has not actually utilized it against him. But definitely, you will go back to the drawing board and try to make improvements. But Topuria is a very fantastic striker, and he has a good shot at getting it done.
All right. I still believe Max Solo will be champion again. The guy is just only 31. Really?
Yes, he is 31.
Really?
Like he
Yeah.
entered into the UFC at a very young age. So like a lot of people think, he's a legend and he's old, but then he's just 31 and he's done a lot of great stuff in the UFC.
All right. All right. There's a lot of talking points that we can build upon. Like we can start going the route of Max Holloway and be like, what's gonna happen if Max moves to lightweight? What's gonna happen here? So let's not fall into that rabbit hole. Christopher Graham says he wants to take my reaction about CM Punk showing up in WWE. Let's finish this division. I'll come back. I'll come back and talk about it. All right. So I don't think it will happen, but and Courageous Empire say we're going to see a replay of what happened in the IFI. Volk is going to outclass Topuria. Topuria is
Yeah,
quite
and guess
strong,
what? Volk is getting old actually. Volk was born in 1988. I think that makes him like around 35 or so. So he's past his prime actually. So I think we
Bro,
shouldn't expect
guys,
much
no,
from Volk any
no, no, no,
longer.
no. Alex the Great is going to make easy work of Topuria, guys. It's not
Okay.
possible. Allow me
Okay.
to be a mark here. Yeah, let's go to the next one. I think we've got one more, actually two more. I did say Ilia Topuria is from Georgia. So, Marlon Vera, Chito, is from
Marlon
Ecuador,
Cheetah
and
Vera.
he is currently the number one contender for Sean O'Malley's bantamweight title. Do you see, this is something that I'm actually 50-50 upon, but let me hear from you, Demola, and let me hear from you guys in the live chat. Do you actually think that Marlon Vera will be the first Ecuadorian UFC champion, Or do
I'm
you think that
sorry. I'm sorry.
he
I
can't?
don't think
He
so.
can't.
I don't think so. I think his win over Sean O'Malley the other time was a fluke win, right? And if you know me, well, I'm a big fan of Sean O'Malley, right? I believe a lot in that guy. Even when people weren't believing in him, I was strongly rooting for him. Uh, I don't see that happening
Well,
again. I
well,
just
sorry,
see.
sorry. Before we get deep into this, fight week showcase. They say Topuria is well rounded. A lot of people don't know his ground game only because of his KOs. I think I might be one of those people. I haven't seen him grapple a lot. Uh, Cheat and Fight Week also say Chito is going to do the same thing to O'Malley. Courageous Empire says he sees Chito beating Sean O'Malley again. Looks like a lot of
I don't
people
see that
are giving
happening.
Chito the winning. But let
I,
me hear you. How do you think Sean O'Malley is going to beat Chito? Because Chito has beaten O'Malley before.
Yeah, if you remember, that was actually a fluke victory, right? I remember that fight very well. Sean O'Malley had an injury on his leg, so he had I
I
think
don't think no. I don't think it was an injury. It's one of those cases where if they kick the right muscle,
yeah,
the
the
leg
nerve,
just
yeah,
gives
yeah,
up.
the
The
nerve,
the
yeah.
nerve just gives up. So it is not Charles Chito Vera's fault that he actually kicked his leg and his leg gave up. So Chito Vera won. There's no fluke in that. I don't know what Sugar Show is saying that oh no, it was not a win. Oh no, I'm still undefeated. That wasn't bro. But as you said Sugar Show is going to win. I'm going to
Yeah,
tell
it
you
was a
this.
freak injury, so he
I
will
am
win.
I am one of the biggest doubters of Sugar Show because when he fought Piotr Yan, I actually gave him zero chances because at that point before
And
he fought Piotr Yan,
I was telling you guys that
wait
time he's gonna
before
win, and you guys did
before
not
he
believe.
fought before he fought Peter Yan, he was one of those cases where the UFC were carefully giving him like fights that he can win. They were not giving him like difficult fights. It was one of those cases where like they are building a boxer, they are building their next star in this case. And when they gave him Peter Yan to fight, that was like the first big step. And to be honest, I was surprised at how he came out and he performed.
It
And then
was
when
a
he got to
very, very
fight,
big step. Remember, he was ranked 11.
Aljo, when he
It
fought
was ranked
Aljo, to
11.
be
The guy
honest,
was ranked 1.
when he fought Aljo, I also did not give him a chance. I thought that Aljo is just going to jump and grab the back and wrap his legs around him and like be like that and probably submit him. That was what I thought was going to happen. But I doubted him again. So I'm going to say that when Sean O'Malley on his podcast or wherever he is talks about his haters, like haters are always doubting me. I think I'm one of them because in this fight with Chito, I also doubt him again. Not that I want to see him lose, but I don't know. I'm not a betting man. You are the betting guy. But if I was a betting man, I'll bet against Sugar Show.
My
That's my
money is
take
on
about
Sugar
it.
Show. My money's on Sugar Show. Trust me, bro. Like he gets the better of Marlon Vera. He's better skilled than Marlon Vera. He's gonna pick Marlon Chito Vera apart.
All
You
right,
see, he'll find a team this
let's
time.
get into the comment. 5 weeks say you remember Topuria supposed submit him. Oh shoot, yeah, he did submit Bryce, didn't he? And the Courageous Empire did say Chito is just too durable. The guy barely bleeds in fights. He's just making my case for me. And he said, let's be honest, Yan fight was a robbery.
That
Could
was
be.
no robbery. Go watch the fight again, and then you can come back.
It could be. It could have gone both ways. And old school karate guy Muze, he says, keep up the great work, gentlemen. Shout out to you, old school karate guy. Um, ladies and gentlemen, we have a latecomer in our midst. Okay. Uh, you know what Nigerians are best known for? Nigerians are the biggest latecomers, and this person came late, but I decided to leave him to wait for 5 minutes outside my door before I let him in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the poster boy of bad internet connection from Lagos State, Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy, Toby Aderemi. Toby, what's
What's up?
happened?
Guy, I swear I slept off. I can't even lie.
Whoa!
I just fell asleep. I just woke up like 5 minutes ago and I was like, God, what have I done? What's up?
All right, as you
Toby.
know, as you can see the picture quality of me and Demola, and you can see the picture quality of Toby, you can tell that he's got very, very crappy internet. And
It's
Toby, why are you wearing a hat? As you just woke up from sleep, did you sleep with your hat?
Why are you wearing a hoodie? A head warmer.
I'm not. I'm because it's snowing outside right now, and you are in Lagos. It's not snowing in Lagos, and there's no
It's
sun in the
snowing in
house.
Lagos, man. It's snowing in Lagos.
Winter in Lagos.
Yo,
How?
All right, all right,
How
all
is
right, all
that?
right, all right, all right. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it. Let's go Ecuador. Looks like Christopher Graham has a thing for Ecuador here. Christopher Graham thinks that he's gonna smack O'Malley's shin off again. Yo, is it me or does it feel like the MMA world are rooting against Sugar Show now? Eh?
Whatever it is, right? He believes in himself and is going to
Because in
come
our
out top
comments,
again.
in our live chat, it seems like Sugar Show is
It's not popular.
not being very popular. Rocking with
Okay,
the dial-up internet connection. All right. Courageous Empire says, Toby, welcome. And Fight Week says, real MMA fans fuck with Cheeto. Yeah, looks like Cheeto is the popular pick in this fight. All right. It's just that I feel like this is a point where we can actually talk about one of the fights happening this weekend where I noticed that the MMA community online are rocking with hey gosh, I'm being forgetful. What's the name of the British fighter that here that Paddy the Baddy, right? He's fighting
Paddy Pimblet, Tony Ferguson.
Tony Ferguson, exactly. And every page on social media here on MMA is always talking about seeing Tony Ferguson win that fight. That's what MMA fans want. That's what MMA fans want. Do you think that's what everybody actually wants because like people don't actually like Paddy?
I don't think it's because people don't like Paddy. I think because Tony Ferguson is a legend of the sport, right? And then people have seen him take so much punishment in recent times, so they don't want to see him just go out like that. He was on an 11 fight win streak, and all of a sudden now came on a 6 fight losing streak. Come on, you want him to just win one fight? So I think it's more of public sympathy. And he's a great guy, so people really want him to win. And if you
All right.
if you've seen him training recently, he's been training with David Goggins, right? He's shown that
Mhm.
he's put in a lot of effort. He went through Hell Week with David Goggins, right? And people want to see that effort translate into victory. That is it for me.
I'm gonna go back to the comment section. I'm a fan of Sean, but that fight will be too much for him. All right, this is one that made me laugh. Nobody's backing Paddy. The MMA gods is gonna bless us with a 2-for-1. Tony win and Paddy loss. Yeah, let's go, Tony. Yeah, I actually want Tony to win. To be honest, because of just how the robbery happened of the last Paddy's fight. Where they shamelessly gave the fight away. Um, let's talk about the last fight. The Iraqi fighter in the flyweight division, Amir Albazi. We know that the flyweight is one of the most boring division. Not that the fighters are not
Why?
very. Wait,
They're
not that the
highly
fighters are. Let me
skillful.
talk. Let me talk. Let me not talk. Let me talk. Not that the
Let me not
fighters are
talk.
not skilled. Let me talk. Sorry. Not that the fighters are not skilled, but they are not powerful enough to be knocking each other out as much as the heavyweights do, right? Because there's like a big skill difference between the heavyweights and the flyweights, right? Both ends of the spectrum. And like the flyweights are not getting the love. Why did you think people are not giving this guy his roses? This guy, Mickey
Brandon
Mouse. They are not giving him
Moreno. Okay.
Mickey Mouse.
Mighty
Mighty
Mouse. Mighty
Mouse,
Because
Mouse.
Mighty
Mighty
Mouse.
Mouse, I say Mickey Mouse,
Demetrius
Mighty Mouse.
Johnson. Demetrius
Yes.
Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, because all the things that he has done, defending his title almost 10 times or 12 times, I can't remember the number exactly. It's crazy the things that he throws a fighter in the air, slam him on the mat, and in the middle of the air transition to an armbar. It's crazy what they do, but people don't give them their roses. And to be fair, the UFC do not book them as good as they book the other divisions, maybe because they don't actually sell tickets or stuff. But regardless, we've got an Iraqi fighter, Amir Albazi, in the. I think he is currently ranked at number 3. Amir Albazi. But the people above him is Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo, who have been in title fights in the last 5 main events for the flyweights. Uh, I think the 2 people that interest me the most in the flyweight, maybe because I'm African, but regardless, we did see Manel Cap and Kai Kara France square up the last time, and they entertained us. I think those are the guys that are actually those are the guys that actually excite me. But regardless, did you have a look at Amir Albazi, and what do you think his chances are of becoming a champion? Did you have a
Quick one.
look, or you didn't?
Yeah, I did.
You
Quick
didn't
one.
get.
I have an update for you, right? Amir
Mm.
Bazi is going to be fighting Brendan Moreno February 24. Yeah,
Oh, no
so
way.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the answer
so
to
it's
you. So I'm going to throw your question back to you. Do you see him winning Brandon Moreno? If yes, then he's going to be champion. If no, I think
hmm.
you'll have to wait for a while.
S-
But for me, I think that guy is extremely good. I think that guy is
So
extremely
all
good.
right.
He's well rounded.
He,
you
he
think he
is
beats
17 and
Pantoja?
1. He is
I think he beats
currently on.
Pantoja.
He has fought 5 times in the UFC and has won all 5. So 5 wins in a row. People that he beats Gordon. He beats Jumagulov. He beat the Figueredo brother. He beats Costa and he beats Kai Kara France. He's that guy that had that split decision victory with Kai Kara France. That Easy came online and was crying for us that, oh, people's family and all that and all that. I remember that fight.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a
If it's that
people's
guy that
fan.
I saw in that fight, if it's that guy that I saw in that fight, I think Moreno beats him. To be honest, that's what I think. If it's that guy that I saw in that fight, oh gosh. Oh gosh, that's what I think. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's move on. Christopher Graham thinks that Paddy the Body is a knob. Ha ha ha. Christopher Graham, by the way, is a British man. So by British by default, you are supposed to like Paddy. Knockout KO Kings. If they've got more Thai kickboxers, 1 out of 1 championship, it will be great. To be honest, I think he's talking about the flyweights. Got Christopher would love to Manuel Cap bring another title back to Africa. Absolutely would love to see an Angolan champion. Knockout says, I've got to go get some food. Good luck with the stream, brother. Shout out to you, KO Kings. Hopefully, it's not as cold as it is here, wherever you are. Have a wonderful day, KO Kings. All right, so I'm going to come back to what Christopher Graham was asking about. And oh my God, we've got Themba here and I missed him. Yo!
Cheeto
Themba
wins,
Gorimbo.
Cheeto
Shout
wins
out,
because he's my man.
shout out. Yeah. Cheeto, definitely, absolutely. Cheeto built a borehole in Africa, in case you guys were wondering what Themba is on about. Christopher Graham asked me a question about CM Punk. And he says, can we get Jibro's take on CM Punk return to the WWE? Okay, let me put the camera on me. All right. I'm the only pro wrestling fan here. And as we know, pro wrestling audience and we cross over a lot. And I'm a very, very big WWE guy. There is a pro wrestling company called AEW, which is sort of like the Bellator to UFC. And they've got very, very fickle fans. And the fans, like, there is like a rivalry between fans in pro wrestling. It doesn't exist in MMA. I don't think I've seen that where someone will be like, I wouldn't watch a UFC fight. I'd rather watch Bellator. But in pro wrestling, it actually happens. AEW fans would be like, I would never watch the WWE product, and the WWE fans would never watch AEW. It's very, very, it's like that. I actually watch both. But in this case, CM Punk, after he left the WWE about 10 years ago, he made his return in the rival company about 7 years when he was off. And then when he got there, um, everything started looking good in that promotion. The ratings went up, but then he started fighting with the other fighters or the other wrestlers. Like he started having real fights with the other wrestlers, causing chaos backstage due to ego situations in AEW. Then he ended up leaving AEW. Then made a shocking return to WWE. So that's the base story. And how do I feel about that? I'm not a big fan of CM Punk because of his antics, because of how he's much of an egomaniac. But he made a return in WWE Survivor Series in Chicago. And in Chicago, he's from Chicago, as you know. CM Punk made some. He fought in the UFC twice, so I would rather say he embarrassed himself in the UFC twice. And both fights were in Chicago. That's why the UFC had him on, because he sort of have a cult following in Chicago. So WWE was doing a show in Chicago and they brought him back. And when he came back, it broke the internet. You probably saw it in your social media feed. Why is that a big deal? It is a big deal because 10 years after he left the WWE, they went to court. He got sued. He claimed a lot of things. Every chance he get, he insulted the WWE that he would never come back to that corporation. He called them hypocrites for doing business with Saudi Arabia. The list goes on and on and on. And then surprise, surprise, he's back. I'm not happy he's back. I know the WWE can do without him. And even if he goes, they'll still be okay. If he comes, they'll still be okay. I feel like WWE only signed him just to do a big fuck you to AEW and the management, Tony Khan. So that's my take. I don't care for CM Punk. But if he's going to give us amazing feuds, like maybe with Seth Rollins, or I've been hearing that he's probably going to fight Stone Cold in Mania, I'm all good for that. All right, guys, that is the WWE break. let's get into the Christopher Graham says the Oracle speaks. And he's talking about Courageous Empire, so he's saying Brandon Roval will be the flyweight champion. Courageous Empire says I'm a big pro wrestling fan too. Temba said I love WWE so much. I was happy seeing him back. Chicago made Punk. Yes, Chicago did. Chicago fans are crazy, man. I find it difficult to watch AEW. Yo, Temba, if you're a pro wrestling fan, why don't you, if you go to a city maybe like Chicago, maybe walk out with Cult of Personality music? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Courageous Empire says I find it difficult to watch AEW. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I can never forget the pipe bombs. Yeah. The Oracle is bro. And lastly, Brandon Royal is getting smoked by Pantoja. All right, guys. We've spent an hour discussing, man. This has been amazing. I think this is a very good place to get to the end of the show. Really, really excited to be back. I was off last week. I needed to. Temba says he'll make a feature on WWE. Temba, see,
Nice one.
jump on the possibility, or not possibility, jump on that. Because right now, WWE and UFC are under the same company called TKO. They are doing business and they are doing cross promotion. Wait a minute. Do you think Temba just told us something? You know, when The Rock did that thing, there were cameras everywhere. Are we going to see a WWE network program with Temba and Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Is that what we are going to see? If you like say Temba just gave us a hint. A hint of something going to happen. I see what they do, brother. They see you. They see you.
Temba, the answer.
Yeah. Christopher Graham did say, yeah, Temba, walk out to Cult of Personality. Yes, please do. All right, guys. That's it from me. Toby, you owe the people an apology, and
Yeah,
please.
man, I do.
Oh yeah.
Apologize to the fans.
This is becoming a habit. I need to change. Okay, so I'm so sorry for coming late. My heart. Let me not bore you with how my day went, but I'm sorry. Next time I'll be here early to get on
All
with
right.
guys. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to join Demola's podcast. That's the King Dems podcast. He's got 2 episodes. His last episode was with the one and only Rafion Stotts. Yes. Temba Gorimbo has agreed to be on his podcast, but probably after the fight or whenever he gets a chance, because he's in camp and locked in. Rock is fighting at WrestleMania against him, and Temba will be in his corner. Toby, you support Liverpool. Apologies accepted. Toby, it seems like Temba is
Wow.
a Liverpool fan too.
Toby's using African time, and we're on the African Fighters podcast, so it matches up. African time.
Actually,
Bro.
that away green jersey of Liverpool is very very nice. It's amazing. It looks like the Super Eagles jersey, man.
Please,
Yeah,
Super what?
it does.
Ah, yeah.
It
The
does,
Super
bro.
Eagles
It
jersey.
does.
It looks like Nigerian jersey. What are you saying? What are you saying? Look, from here like this now that we cannot see the logo, it looks like Super
Yeah,
Eagles
it looks
jersey.
like a Nigerian jersey, bro.
It
All
looks
right,
like a
guys.
jersey you
Thank
want
you.
to win.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. This has been amazing. I really had a good time. Again, really appreciate you guys, Toby, Demola, and yeah, the African Fighters Awards coming next week. You would get more details. All right, guys. Peace, and we are.